In the following video tutorial, we're going to cover the Preferences page of your website. Up under the Administrative Functions, let's go down to Preferences. Okay, we're going to start here. This is going to be the first part in a series on the Preferences page. The Preferences page is actually quite a long page here with a lot of content to cover. And so I'm going to break this up into a few videos. So we're going to begin here at the top. Now this first section here is the root administrator section. If you are an administrator, if you are a co-administrator, if you are anybody except for the root administrator, you're not going to see this information. Only the root administrator will see this portion of the page. So for the root administrators, this section is where you can go to change the root administrator. And by that, what I mean is every website has only one root administrator assigned to it. This is typically the person who has started the site initially. However, there are times when that person is no longer able to continue with the website. Or if they decide that they want to no longer be involved with the website, they can choose to come in here and hand off root administrator privileges to another person. So what we have here is a drop-down list, and it only shows one other person that I have set up here as a co-administrator. So what happens is, if you want to set up somebody else as the root administrator, they have to be set up as a co-administrator first. And we do have a video on how to do that in our video tutorials. So I would take a look at how to set up a co-administrator. But for that said, what you would like to do is change the person who is the root administrator. You make them a co-administrator and they will show up in this list of the drop-downs. So you'll come to this drop-down list, you'll select that person's name, and then you have to go to the very bottom of the page and click on Save Preferences. That will actually save the change that you've made. Coincidentally, this Save Preferences button at the bottom of the page, you need to come to that after making any change on the Preferences page for it to take effect. So one last word on the root administrator section is that only the root administrator has access to this, and only the root administrator can make changes to this section. If the root administrator is not available, or maybe they have passed away, you may contact Class Creator if you are an administrator on the website and provide documentation of that passing, and we can assist in changing the root administrator to another co-administrator on the website. Okay, the second section here is called Single/Multi-Year Class. When creating your website, you will go through the process of setting up whether or not your site is a single year or a multi-year, multi-graduating year website. Typically, you can predetermine whether or not you want your site to be a single year or a multi-graduating year website. However, there are cases in which you want to convert your site from being a single year to a multi-year website. For example, if your particular website catches on very well, you may want to expand it to surrounding years. I've also seen other websites who became very popular and they've decided to open it up completely as sort of an alumni association type of website. Or you may be coming into this thinking that you want to be an alumni association right off the bat, in which case you would probably set it up as a multi-graduating year. Either way, if you decide to make the change from going from a single year to a multi-graduating year, you cannot change back. the system goes through some changes that will add new preferences to the preferences page, as well as new settings to the website that will make it a multi-year website, and you cannot go back to a single-year website. So you'll have to realize that when you make this change. I'm not going to click on this at the moment and do the switch over to a multi-year site, but I can tell you that when you do click on this and make this change, the system will pop up with a warning and explain to you that this cannot be undone. And it will also expand into additional information, which I will go over in a future or in another part of the series for the preferences page. So we're going to move on from there. The next section is called time zone. Now the time zone is set up for your particular location in the world, so that when you send out emails to people in your class, it's time stamped, or for example, when certain activity happens on your website that shows a timestamp, it will actually refer to the time zone that your site is set up in, so that it makes sense to everybody who is viewing the website. The next section is called date format. So this is where we allow you to set up the format in which you see your month and day. Obviously here in the US, the most common would be to see month/day. However, in many other parts of the world who use this system for their websites, they may choose to have it set up as day/month. And so we provided that as a setting within the preferences page for those users. Okay, the next section that we're going to talk about covers automatic emails. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit to show there are 3 emails here that we will cover for the automatic email section. First thing to know about the automatic emails is that there is a checkbox to the left of them under a column called active. And if you wish to deactivate them, you can do so by just simply unchecking that checkbox. Leaving it checked will leave it as an active automatic email. So let me just start from the top here. So the system we've set up these automatic emails for a reason. The first one obviously here is a welcome message that automatically goes out to your new members. The second one is a profile update reminder. That one is sent out every 6 months for those who have not updated their profile during that time period. And it's a way to help keep your members coming back to the website and continuously updating their information. That helps to spawn interactivity between all of your members. And then the third one here is the missing classmates invitation. We do allow for members to send out an invitation to your missing classmates, and they can do so on the bottom of the missing classmates page. There is a link there that allows them to enter an email address that will initiate this message. And it's just a way for them, if they know the email address of somebody on your list, to let them know about the website. So any of these messages here can be customized. So if you wanted to go in and change any of this information, all you have to do is go in and start typing over the message that we have in here by default. However, these messages have been in here for a long time and seem to work very well. So it's something that you can, like I said, choose to update and customize for your website, or leave as is. Every one of these is automatically customized already with your site information based upon the build of your website. So it would automatically put the name of your website in here, the information about your graduating class, etc. It'll include a link that'll go directly to your website. that information. So it's actually already built very well for that type of use. Now you can go in and add further customization to these if you wish to add more information. And one of the things that we offer here are, these are some pre-built variables. If you were to take, for example, this variable and copy it and paste it into the body of that message, it will automatically replace the variable with the first name of your classmate. So these variables help to personalize those messages, and this is the entire list of variables that we offer. So again, you have your welcome message, the profile update reminder, and the missing classmate invitation. The next section that we're going to speak about here is called the email address and sender name. This section is in regards to any emails that are being sent out from the website to your members. So when an email is generated from the website, it is being sent from noreply@classcreator.net. That email address is a system email that allows for us to send out an email to everybody at once. When your users receive that email, there is going to be a line in there that shows who the sender is, and that is the email address that is in the system right here. So if the member needs to reply to that email, we have included the email address in that message for them to reply to. The email will show up to them as coming from the name in this field right here. It says site email from name. So even though the email is being sent from noreply@classcreator.net, it's going to show up as having come from this name in the system. Now you may want to come in and update this so that it says site administrator or the name of your class website. You may want to say the name of the class website site administrator, or any combination thereof, and this is where you would change that information. By the way, these two settings right here, if you are a new root administrator, if the system has been reassigned to you, as we showed in the first part of this video under the root administrator section, this is where you're going to come to set up the email address information. Otherwise, it will look like the emails are still going out from a previous administrator. The next section here is called email the class, and so by default the system has it set up so that the sending administrator's name is what is used. So what this means is, for any co-administrators who are set up in the system, it's going to automatically by default use the name of the co-administrator for the sending name, and it's going to include the reply address as the email address as supplied by the co-administrator. If you want to change that information, you can select this setting, which says it basically overrides that and makes it so that the email from name and site email address are what are used for all emails for email the class. And then for all of the notifications that go out from Notify Me, you can set up a specific from name in this location, and that might be handy for your members to easily distinguish between emails that come from email the class versus the Notify Me emails. So this one might be set up, for example, as site updates. This one might be best to be set up as the name of your website and updates, or Notify Me, something that makes it easy for your members to distinguish that these are the daily notifications that are sent out from the Notify Me portion of your website. Okay, so that pretty much covers the email address and sender name information. With that, we're going to wrap up this particular video, and we will come back for part 2 and pick up with the classmate join options. See you in the next video. Thank you.